Hey guys, it's Gabe again from Gabe Gaming Channel, and today we've got another guide video for you. And after the update, there was a new heart rate that was introduced, and we actually finally get the S pass that we've been hoping for Natureza. And before we get into our team build and gameplay, let us have a quick look at the opponent first. So the team that we're playing against for this heart rate is the Brazilian national team based from World Youth, and it is a mixed color team. Um, there isn't too much to talk about in terms of players' passive or hidden skills, as this one is quite different from the previous ones that gives shield and debuff on opponent. And this one, only the AMs and DMs have stamina killer and auto intercept, and all the other ones, the players do not have any special hidden or passive skills. So I will go into detail for our opponent when the game starts, but there isn't too much to talk about here. One thing I do want to mention is that Salinas' skill has 348 momentum, his blindingly fast custodian skill. So when you do put your team together for figuring out who you want to use to score, do make note of this as the momentum is quite high for Salinas. All right, well that ends the short brief here on our opponent. Let us now move on to our team build. Alrighty guys, so this brings us to our team build segment, and we'll start off with our formation, as the team skills are irrelevant for the hard rate. So for this not to use hard rate, I'll be using the ever handy 3142 Forward AM attack 10% formation, and that is due to the fact that I would like to give additional attack stats to my enabler as well as my goal scorers, and do use a formation that suits your players available. So goal scorers for this one, I'll be using Dreamfest Hino version 2, and he will be used to satisfy the minimum requirement of scoring 2 goals with either Hino or Diaz. And the third and final goal, I will attempt to use Dreamfest Masao or JY Diaz. And Dreamfest Pascal is also an option. And for my enabler, I will be using Dreamfest Chester, and that is simply because he provides high balls to Dreamfest Hino and also gives him an additional 5% stats when he receives the ball from Chester. And for defense, I would recommend you guys to use Sakaki, as he provides great bonds and also has the passive, hidden skill of Price of Confused Fight. And for goals or goalkeeper, use Dreamfest Genzo, as will stop basically most, if not all, shots from our opponent due to his next Dream player buff. So this team, I was able to build 38.5% bonds, and my recommendation for your team build is to try and build one that has the most bonds, or the one with most debuff if you want to go with a debuff team. And yeah, that concludes the team build segment. Let us now move on to our gameplay and strategy. So our strategy for this heart rate is to score 3 goals to unlock all the prizes. The first 2 goals I will attempt to use Dreamfest Hino and use Chester to enable him, and then after that we'll try to score with Masao, Diaz, or Pascal. And Dreamfest Chester can dribble past the DMs and then use a white pass to Hino. So here are some tips to help you. So for your information, Pepe has no intercept skill and Leo has no tackle skill. So matching up with these should get you an easy matchup win. And my strategy is to match up with Pepe and buy some time for my AM and forwards to move up, and that should make an easy outlet pass to my offensive midfielders.
俺も翼を広げて大空に羽ばたく。よし来い。必ず止める。ディアー。行くぞ。負けてたまるかよ。よし来い。そんなパスが通るか。うおー。行くぜ。よし。
So here the thinking process is whether to use a header, However, I feel like my distance was a bit far that I wasn't gonna guarantee that I would get a goal. And it was a decision whether to sacrifice the full power or not on the header, so I decided to use a ground shot at the end.
これが俺の渾身の力を込めた最速に回転トルネードシェードだ。俺が止める。行くぜ。よっしゃよっしゃよっしゃ。よし来い行くぞ。それよっしゃ。それよし来い勝負だ。サッカー国本場のドリブルを見せてやる。わしが相手してやるたい。負けてたまるか。わしが止める。行くぞ。ぶっ潰したい。打ち荒れたするたい。勝負だ。よし来い。俺のテクニックが止められるか。何。よし行くよみんな。勝負だ。よし来い。食らうがいい。見たか。それよし来い。行くぞ。よっしゃよっしゃ。太田戦行くぞ。よし来い。簡単なパスだぜ。行くぜ。それ本気で行くとするかレオ。そうだな。そろそろ楽にしてやるか。よし来い。よし行くぞみんな。必ず止める。はっうわ勝負だ。負けてたまるかよ。俺のテクニックが止められるか。何。よし
勝負だ。宇宙船なら任せておけ。もらったぜ。
俺が止める。行くぜ。勝負だ。よし来い。よし来い。 中盤を制した者が勝つんだ。中盤を制した者が勝つんだ。勝負だ。よし来い。トルネードシュートは空中でも使えるんだ。俺が止める。行くぜ。よっしゃよっしゃ。
Right, well, that brings an end to the guide for Natureza's heart rate. And before I end, I'd like to give a special shout out to my YouTube channel members and Patreon members. Zuxel Gaming, Themis, Avan, Samuel, Jackknife, and Pietro. Thank you guys for all the support. And guys, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please help me out by giving me a like, share it with others that might need help as well, and subscribe if you want more guide videos like these in the future. Thank you for watching, and may the best RNG be with you all.